If money's tight right now, you've probably been told just stop spending. But instead of cutting everything and feeling miserable, I made a list of 10 things we've stopped buying this year that saved us money without making us feel broke. And so these 10 things I believe is going to position us to save hundreds of dollars this year without sacrificing the things that truly are valuable to us. The first area we looked at was my food consumption at work. So instead of me going down to the cafeteria to buy a coffee or to buy food, I actually take leftovers from home. So we do a bit of meal prepping in that regard, or I buy these small bowls of food at Walmart, which cost $3 for one. And as a result of that, we are actually saving more than $100, which is pretty awesome. So what I've realized is that you can still eat well, but you just don't need to be spending $10 to $12 a day. The next area we looked at was our subscriptions. And so we ended up cutting Sling, the streaming service, for the summer. So we're going to save about $150 over the next 3 months. You might not have Sling, or you might have a different streaming software provider that you use. But consider, are you using it? Are you watching? How often do you watch what you are watching? Because this could be a particular area that you could save money. You could pause it for the summer. You could cut down on one and just have one. You don't need to have Netflix and Hulu and Paramount and Peacock, preaching to the choir over here, because I've had all of those at the same time at one point in time. So assess what's important to you when it comes to streaming, what it is that you're watching, and then cut down on the ones that you aren't using. The next area that I need to look at was bottled water. So at the place that I work at, we've got a Kangen water machine which gets us 9.5 pH quality water. But we also sell 9.5 water bottles, which cost, I think, $2 or $3 for one. And there's been so many times that I've just been tempted to grab that bottle because I forgot my water cup at home. Now I take my water cup with me and I'm able to actually fill up 9.5 pH water for free, as opposed to buying water all the time. If you are somebody that doesn't have that availability at your work, I encourage you to go to places like Costco or Sam's Club and buy water there in bulk, because you could be saving a lot of money by actually buying in bulk at those places, as opposed to buying at the convenience store as and when you need it. The other area that we have started to look at is buying generic products. And so we're not buying name branded products just for the sake of buying it. So I worked at a manufacturing company as a controller years ago, and I realized quickly that some of the products at the place that I worked at was selling, we sold our version as well as the generic store branded version, and more often than not, the ingredients used were the exact same. The only thing that was different was the packaging. So next time you go into a store, go and look at the product that you're using, the branded product and the generic store branded product, and compare the ingredients. You might be surprised that they are a lot similar than what you might think. And by using your generic products or the store branded products, you're actually going to end up saving a lot of money. So that's one area that we've actually started to look at. The next one is actually a big one, and people don't really realize how much they end up spending on this particular area, and that's your impulse Target runs or Walmart runs, right? So going to your favorite store, you can insert the name. I mentioned Target or Walmart because we shop there quite often. So just going into the store without a plan, you're going to end up buying things that you don't need. So I'm not saying don't go to those stores, but what I am encouraging you to do is to have a list. You could have a piece of paper, you could have a list on your phone, and by having a list, you're actually going to go ahead and just buy the things that you truly need. You could also do pickup orders, and so we don't go into the store often any longer. What we do is, whether it's Target or Walmart, we actually order our things online, so we are strategic about what we are buying, and as a result of that, we are not overspending anymore. I know I've been guilty so many times of going into Walmart to buy stuff and then just grabbing things that we didn't even need. And the sad part about it is sometimes I grab stuff and we didn't even end up eating it, and we ended up throwing it away. So don't make that mistake, guys. Here's another big one, and that's the just in case Amazon buys. You know, when you open into Amazon and you see it's a flash sale, and so, yeah, maybe I'll buy it because maybe I'll use it at some point in time. The deal is so great, it's like 45% off. I've purchased so many things around the house where it was this amazing deal, and in some instances, I've used it 1 or 2 times. And there's other times, I'll be honest, I haven't really even used stuff. I've got stuff on my desk at the moment, which I almost feel embarrassed to say that, but I've got stuff on my desk that I've used 1 time, and I've spent quite a bit of money on it. So have a rule in your house where, if possible, you can wait 48 hours, put it on a list, and then come back 40 hours later or 48 hours later, your 48-hour list, come back, revisit the list, and then determine whether or not you still really need this thing. If you do, go ahead and buy it. If you don't need it, don't buy it. The next area is buying overpriced phone chargers and cables. And so in the past, I was somebody, it's like, I've got to buy me an Apple charger, or I have to buy me an Apple adapter. And as a result of that, I was buying adapters and chargers which cost at times $40 or $50, whereas if I'd gone onto Amazon as an example, I could have bought a similar model. It wasn't the exact Apple brand, but it was a different model or different product which did the exact same thing, and I could have picked it up for $10. So now what we do is, instead of buying the original component or original product from the Apple store, we go into Amazon and we buy it, and we get it for a lot less. Another area that you should consider is reviewing your apps that you use on your phone, things that you've signed up for, as well as subscriptions that you might have forgotten about. And so I want you to go and review your bank statements and credit card statements, because that's what we did. And you might end up finding subscriptions and things that you've signed up for and that you're just paying on autopilot because it's just $5.99 or $3.99. But if you add all those together, it becomes expensive. Assess whether or not the subscriptions that you're paying for, do you actually need them? Do you still use them? And if not, go ahead and cancel them, because that could be a place that you could end up saving lots of money that you might not even realize. What I'll share now might not be a game-changing savings idea to you, but for me, I'd never done this before. I was always the type of person, when it came to the seasonal time of year like Christmas and birthdays and different events like that, I always wanted to buy brand new stuff. And so now what we do is, for the most, we've still got the same Christmas tree that we've used for the past 5 years. We've got the same decor that we put up around the house. But when it comes to birthdays, instead of going to the store and buying another bag, those bags in which you put the gifts, we actually reuse it, the ones that we've been given, as well as maybe ones that we've purchased. And I'm not talking about giving somebody a gift in a broken bag. By no means. I mean, if it's not in a good condition, don't use it. But if it's been used once and it's been stored and it can be used again, you can actually go ahead and you can give people a gift within those bags. You can also go down to the dollar store, believe it or not, and you can actually find birthday cards over there. So I know for me personally, when somebody gives me a birthday card, I'm truly grateful. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, but I'll read the card and I'll put it down. And people I know the exact same thing. So what I do now is I go to the dollar store, I spend $1 on a birthday card, and I give it to them, as opposed to going to Walmart or CVS and spending $8 on a card. I'd rather give the person cash or a gift card to make up for the difference, as opposed to spending such a lot of money on a card. Small little things, tweaks here and there that you could implement too, that could end up saving you money. This is a big one, especially if you've got young kids, buying those trendy snacks. And so there's a new movie that comes out, and all of a sudden there's gummies, and then there's the different chocolate bars. And so buying these trendy sort of snacks for your kids and even for yourself could end up costing a lot more. So the store branded one, or even the normal brand that you buy, a box might cost $5, but all of a sudden it's the new movie one and it's going to cost you $12. Don't fall for that trap, guys. I would encourage you to buy 3 to 4 staple snacks that your kids actually eat. So we've cut those out. We are intentional about buying snacks that our kids actually eat, because we know that we're going to get our money's worth when we do that. You don't have to start cutting out everything to save money. You just need to start with the low-hanging fruit. And remember that saving $100 each month equates to $1,200, which you could use towards debt. You could even invest that, or you could set it aside in a high-yield savings account and then go on a good holiday at the end of the year. If you're trying to figure your way through your finances, subscribe to the channel, and I've got a cash guide beneath this video that will share a few more ways that you can actually find more money within your budget or spending plan.